Hi, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. Today, what I'm going to do is to share with you these special tools that I have been using for the last 8 or 10 years. I can't remember when I started using them, that I received in Peru. So these tools are called the crystalline vibrational cards. So these crystalline vibrational cards are used to help you heal, and they're used in different ways to help you heal. And why I'm sharing them with you today is that if you want to self-gift yourself something, or if you want to give a package to your friends, it's a beautiful time to share this. Now, each card comes with an image, a megahertz, and then what the card connects to. These cards were developed or given to me one of the trips over to Peru. Peru has been this beautiful, near and dear place to my heart. I have gone to Peru over, I want to say 20 times in the last 24 years. And each time I go, I work with a series of different shamans, and we do all sorts of ceremonies and meditations. And every group that goes over gets massive healings. And what I found is that that energy of Peru has two really particularly powerful things to help us move our energy. One is ley lines that run under cities or in the mountains, and a lot of spiritual places exist on ley lines because the energy frequencies are different. The crystalline cards were sourced by being up in Lake Titicaca and going over or in the lake, actually, on a journey. So one of the years, the shaman that was leading us to one of the islands stopped the boat in the middle of the lake, and he said, we're all invited down into the lake to do some healing work. And that one of us was going to be accessing Crystal City in the lake. Like, that's their belief system, is that you can go through and connect to other dimensions and times within the lake. So a whole group did this meditation. I had the experience of connecting in with the Crystal City. It was like the most magical, amazing thing that I have seen. A lot of people talk about these crystalline cities. They reside all over our world, but they're in a different dimension, and we go through these portals to access them. One that you might know is in Atlantis, like you can access a crystalline city. This one was in Lake Titicaca. When I went into on the meditative journey into the city, I was gifted this book of knowledge. Fast forward, when I came out a few days later, I was sitting at the host house that we were in, and all of a sudden different images started to come forward, and each of the images were so exacting. Like, I would draw it and they're like, nope, this line's a little too long, or this thing. And I didn't even know what the images were, but I was just going with what was coming through in my intuition. So each card eventually came forward. So first came the images, and then came the megahertz, and then came the focus of the card. When I first started doing this, I didn't know how to get images on cards. I created literally construction paper, paper that I could find that had these color bands. So the color bands in the universe represent different vibrational frequencies, and each color does something. So what's unique about the cards is that they have these images in the middle, which actually accelerate healing around whatever the card is focused on. So this card is around amplifying your soul connection, and connecting with your soul so that you can bring your higher energy, your higher purpose through, your focus of what you want to accomplish in this lifetime. So you might use this card in a meditation to make your connection to soul easier so that you can connect easier, you can be aligned with your soul's purpose so that you can translate that in this lifetime. So that's gold. I love working in gold energy. Gold energy is a very high frequency. So the megahertz numbers represent vibrational frequencies in the universe. And these megahertz numbers are where the frequency starts, but it's not where it ends. Every frequency of energy has a large band and impact. So the gold frequency starts at 1890. It opens you up to have access to your soul family, and to communicate easier. The silver card is crystal energy. Crystal energy, for those of you that use crystals, I have a ton of crystals. I never loved crystals when I first were introduced to them. I thought, oh, it's a little hairy-fairy, that, you know, I don't need to use these things. But I was gifted some, and the more I use them, the more I love them, because they're very, very powerful energy. Silver, the silver card connects you to all of the crystalline energy to help move things, shift things, magnify whatever it is that you're looking for, or that you want to create abundance to. One of my favorite cards is blue, and this card represents deep spiritual healing. All of us have had times or lifetimes where maybe it wasn't safe to show up spiritually, or maybe when we did, we were rejected in some way. Maybe when we were born into the world with our intuition, with our knowing still intact, and because it wasn't valued or developed in us, we hid it, or we lost access to it. Deep spiritual healing helps take whatever trauma we have around that and release it so that we have greater access to our own wisdom, our own knowing, our own intuition. The next card is the purple card. This is all about harmony and openings. So say you're working on your intuition and you want to open your access, or you want more flow and ease and harmony in your life around the kinds of work you're doing. You would connect to this purple energy, this purple frequency, and allow the energy of that to flow through what you're thinking about, what you're acting on, or what you're creating. The yellow card is all around amplifying your energy. What's powerful about yellow is, in this card, it connects with our chakras. So unlike all these other cards, the yellow card also connects to our power center, which is our chakra that's also yellow. And what this does is allow us to stand and step into more of our power, so we can be more expressive, so we can bring our whole selves forward, so we can stand in what we believe in, what we connect to, what we want to share in the world, the work that we want to do, whatever it is. This is the card that helps you continuously bring your energy forward and amplify up what you stand for or what you mean. The orange card is all around past lifetime healing. Now, for those people that want to be healers or are healers, and I put that out, but it heals everything. Like if you came and you had past lifetimes of bad relationships, or you couldn't manage money, and so you were always living in scarcity. This is the kind of card that you would work with, that you would go after those lifetimes, so you would flow this beautiful orange frequency into past lifetimes to heal them. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to know what your past lifetimes are, but your intentionality around flowing this energy through you to heal what might still be connected or what you might be carrying in your cellular memory from other lifetimes so that you can do your work in the world. When I was stepping out of corporate and starting to do the spiritual work, I had to do a lot of past lifetime healing so that I could step out in my own power, in my own voice around the work that I was doing. Now, remember, this was over 20 years ago, 25 years ago now, when energy work wasn't even heard of. And in fact, when I would mention it, people would say, oh, so you work for the electric company? Like there was just no relationship to it. And so it was, I found for me, it was a challenge to sort of step out into the world doing this work because one, no one knew about it. Two, it was this thing that was unseen. And so if you grew up, I grew up on the East Coast where seeing is believing, right? Science is king here. We have all these institutions of higher education. So getting information from your intuition or hearing that you move the energy in a certain way to help heal someone was really, unheard of. So it took a lot for me to step into this kind of work and bring it to light. And in order to do that, I had to do a lot of past lifetime healing. The green card is around this lifetime healing. So this is, you use this card when you know, when you've had experiences that really were traumatic for you or took you to a place that you wouldn't normally want to live from. So for instance, like say you had a bad relationship, say you got fired from a job, say you wrote a book and it was rejected 25 times. Those things can all create trauma for us and how we see ourselves, how we hold ourselves, what we believe about ourselves. And so this green card is the card to help heal the physical body that's holding this energy of the impact of our experiences. So this card is what I say, it's not very glamorous, but it is the heavy lifter of all the cards. And then we have the Love and Heart card. This is used when you want to step into more intimacy with yourself, with others, when you want deeper connections, when you want to create a love in your life that works for you. Or you want to heal yourself, maybe from a relationship. This is the card to use. I work with a lot of clients that have had poor relationships, and so they're very sort of blocked around letting themselves live from love energy. They live from their mind, they'll logic things out, but they won't allow themselves to feel what it feels like. And this is the card to get you back connected to your feelings and know that it's safe for you to be your loving self within the world. Then we have one of my personal favorites, burst through energy. I use this card, and I know a lot of my clients use this card when they're right about to make a shift or a change in their life, whether it's changing locations or changing jobs or changing relationships, or they're changing the way they see themselves, and they're getting rid of the old paradigms that they might be holding. This energy helps you to move forward to the new way that you want to be, that you want to think, that you want to hold something in your life. So this is burst through energy, and it's a very powerful card to work with. And then the last, but certainly not least, is white, which is the master co-creator energy. This card allows us to connect with the energy of all that there is in the planet and live into the possibilities of what's available for you, and live into all potentiality. And when I say all potentiality, is in the co-creator energy. Anything that can be manifested, that can be created, lives in this energy. And what we want to do is, if we're starting something new in our life, we want to be able to access that energy so that we can get the power of the universe behind us and help us co-create whatever it is that we're co-creating. So these cards come with a booklet. So up until now, I have only given these cards to people that are in my training programs or in my healing schools, because I would have to teach them how to use all the cards. And then one day I heard in one of my meditations, you need to get these cards out into the world so others can benefit from using them, so that they can see their lives changing up. So because of that, I then I created a book. In the book, it talks to every card, how to use it, the things that you want to do with it, some exercises around it. Also in the book, there's healing spreads. So it's around how you align the cards on your body to heal something, to create something new. So for instance, this is a physical healing spread. And you'll see the image of the body and where the different cards go. And what you do is you put your intention in to these cards around what you want to create or heal for yourself. So there's all sorts of different spreads in here around manifesting new things in your life, creating abundance, and it goes on and on. Here's a soul alignment spread that helps you, again, open up and align yourself to your soul's wisdom. It's powerful when we operate in this world from our soul's wisdom, because when we can operate in this world from our soul's wisdom, we have access to knowing that goes beyond what's in our physical realm right now. So when we only operate from our mind can only process what it knows, what it sees, what it experiences. The mind has more difficulty living into possibilities, but the soul's energy is all around feeding you what is possible for you, and then you being able to sort of access it and take it on. I'll give you an example of this. When I started this work, I had no idea what it was even called. Like, I literally was just working on opening up my intuition and connecting to my spirit guides. And then over time, I kept getting these very specific directions on when I was working with people. I would hear this sort of voice in my head saying, do this or do that, or hold their hand, or put your hand here on their body. And I would sit in resistance to it, like, I'm not going to do that. I have no idea what this is about. Over time, what happened was the voices would get so loud that I couldn't pay attention to my client. So then I would take the risk and say, I'm really intuitive, and I'm getting this message that we need to do XYZ. Luckily, all of my clients were with me for a long period of time, so they trusted me and knew me. And we did whatever was being held or given to me to do for that person, whether it was place my hands on their wrist or over their heart or say certain words to them. And what began to happen was like my client would just either start opening up about something or let go of something or begin to tremble with repressed energy getting released out of their bodies. So as I listened to my intuition and my knowing and the directions I would get from my soul, I began to trust more and more that this information was not only to serve me, but to serve my clients in getting to the liberation or the freedom or whatever it is that they were working with me around. And so in those days, it took a while for me to understand and be open and be able to stay and keep my access to this high level frequency of knowing. And I wished back then I had these cards because they could have helped accelerate my journey so much faster. So if you're a healer, if you're looking to be healed, these crystalline vibrational cards are amazing to work with. I can't say more than that. When I first developed them, they were on construction paper, and I was just using them on my clients. And then my clients started feeling the impact for them. So they started to ask for their own set so they could go home and do the same thing. So I would make more construction paper. And after like 4 years, I found somebody that I trusted enough to develop these cards for me. And she did, and they're amazing. And everyone in my community, in the healing schools, and clients that come in to work with me, use them on their own time to accelerate whatever they're looking for in their life. So with that, I offer you up these cards. They're only $37 for the vibrational cards and the booklet. It comes in a nice box. They're great to give for friends that are into this work or people that you know that can really use it. I've given them to my neighbors who, at first I didn't really share what I did. But when I saw them struggling, I thought, I need to help support them. I've given them to neighbors who don't know anything about energy, but what they do know is that when they work with these cards or they place them on their bodies, they feel better immediately. So if you're interested, and what we'll do is we'll send you a link. They're $37 plus postage and handling. I hope you love them and begin to work with them as much as I do and my community does. And if you have any questions that you'd love to have me answer, just post them in the Soul Driven community on the group page, and I'll get them and speak into them the next time. All right, everyone, enjoy your day. I look forward to connecting to you again. Take care. Bye now.